Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're going overboard. There's something so crazy about the idea of uncontacted tribes. There are many known to reside in places like the Amazon rainforest, as well as many other places of the world. People in these communities maintain their traditional way of life, living without the use of technology. And in fact, some tribes have survived for thousands of years on their own. There is, however, a darker side to this. Many people go out of their way to interfere with the lives of these tribespeople, and they get fucking burned, dude. Maybe literally. I know they get stabbed a lot or shot with arrows, you know? Uncontacted tribes are susceptible to all sorts of diseases, seeing as they've not benefited from modern medical advancements. Making contact with the outside world increases the likelihood of spreading disease outbreaks throughout their community, like influenza or measles. In some cases, these outbreaks have wiped out entire tribes. The tourists face harm as well, as it is common for these indigenous tribes to be protective of their land when faced with outsiders. And in many cases, people have been brutally tortured, murdered, and even cannibalized in an attempt to make contact with them. Without further ado, today we're going to be talking about some of the reasons why you don't contact the uncontacted tribes. You know, these are little curious cases of some of, mostly religious. It's going to be a lot of religious people going in and trying to say hello. I don't know. Spread the good word, and the good word was not meant to be spread. Of course, starting off with the YouTuber who gave Diet Coke to an indigenous tribe. I feel like that'd rot your stomach out if you've never had Diet Coke before. You see what that shit does to pennies?
Be yummy.
Yeah. Oh, I like it! Recently, an American YouTuber named Mikhailo Podvalikov was arrested for interfering with the Sentinelese tribe. The Sentinelese live on the North Sentinel Island, a small island that resides in the Indian Ocean. They are known as the most isolated indigenous people in the world, with a total population estimated to be around 150 people. They aggressively reject any sort of outside contact, partly fearing that it will result in diseases that can take out their entire tribe. There are even photographs of the Sentinelese shooting arrows at helicopters whenever they encroach on their land. On some occasions, they have been friendlier towards people approaching them with gifts, like Diet Coke. Here, or a PS3, Xbox 360 and PS3, that's all you need. In many cases, however, outsiders were met with hostility. Like in 2006, a fishing boat had drifted to the island while the men inside were asleep. They were hacked to death with axes, and their bodies were reportedly hooked onto bamboo stakes as a warning to passing boats. Didn't have Diet Coke. If they would have found Diet Coke on the boat, it would have been a different story. Polyklov, the 24-year-old influencer, planned to take a GoPro with him to the island in order to make an offering and get some good content out of the situation. Get a little GoPro, bring a little Diet Coke, get some good content. The math was there, ladies and gentlemen. The math was there. He prepared an inflatable boat and set out on this journey by himself. His offering consisted of a coconut and a can of Diet Coke.
The coconut seems insulting.
I'd see what he sounds even more insulting. One Diet Coke for 150 people? Motherfucker couldn't bring a 12-pack? Using his binoculars, he scanned the island upon his arrival. He expected a horde of Sentinelese to be waiting on the shores. He blew a whistle to get their attention, but to no avail. He then stepped onto the shore to grab sand samples and leave his offerings before returning home. As soon as he made it back to the port, he was arrested. It is considered illegal to visit the island or even be within 3 miles of it, because they want to protect it from the outside influence that can destroy their way of life. Further investigation proved that Polyklov had more previous attempts to visit the island in the past. After an appearance in court, he may carry a prison sentence for many years with a lot of heavy fines. Which also, if you've heard nothing from this place besides people getting axed to death and shot with arrows, why would you want to keep returning? Also, what benefit are you going to do dropping off a goddamn coconut and a can of Diet Coke?
He wanted sand samples.
He wanted content. He wanted to get attacked, is what I think. He wanted to get attacked and have the GoPro POV of it. POV attacked by contactless tribe. It's like Indiana Jones. Start the plane! And this isn't the only guy to get in trouble with the Sentinelese. There was another person who had a bit more of an oopsie-daisy fate. John Allen Chow, the man who tried to convert the Sentinelese to Christianity. This is where it goes downhill. This is where we start getting some rough pumpkins.
They're a bunch of atheist Redditors.
Yeah, the Sentinelese are a bunch of incel, atheist Redditors, 4chaners who are just like, God who? John Allen Chow was a Christian missionary who felt he was called upon by God to spread the word to the Sentinelese people in North Sentinel Island. I'm going to say that's probably not true. It's all me. Really, John Chow? Really, you're the person to do it? He's like, yeah, me. Gypsy, is that you? Yeah, it's me, Gypsy Rose. That's the only person that could convert the Sentinelese to Christianity is Gypsy Rose. You better do it.
She'd bring her like prison wine drink.
Yeah, her fucking soup goop.
Drink it, Ryan.
Oh, goddamn, Gypsy, what the hell is that? Chow was a religious and adventurous thrill seeker who believed the risk would be worth it if it meant he could bring Christ to the island that he considered to be Satan's last stronghold on earth. His quotes, not mine. His trip was partly inspired by the mission trip of Jim Elliot, who was killed in 1956 by members of the Huarani tribe, whom he tried to make contact with in Ecuador. Think that that's just a warning sign, but my boy said, challenge accepted. John prepared for his trip by attending a boot camp style exercise in 2017, run by a religious Kansas City organization. I live there! They created a fake village filled with people pretending to be hostile native people wielding spears. Where the hell would they have even done that in Kansas City?
They're doing it in the crossroads.
Go Patrick Mahomes. It was noted by the leader of the organization that Chow was the best trainee they had ever taken in. How many people are you training for this? You're God's warrior. Go with Christ, Chow. He's like, thank you, sir. He took every precaution experts would recommend to prepare himself for the trip, including exposing himself to several diseases so he could become immunized to them. Unsure of how to actually travel to the island safely, he convinced a group of Christian fishermen to take him to the island illegally. He paid them $400 for the trip. When they arrived, the fishermen refused to step on shore. They dropped John off with a kayak and left him. Bye, John. Bye, guys. Can't wait to talk about Christ! Jesus! Before meeting the tribe, John stripped down to his underwear to make the Sentinelese more comfortable. He took the kayak to shore with some fish for gifts and shouted that he loved them and Jesus loved them too. However, this elicited a hostile reaction and he was shot at with arrows. He retreated, waiting things out a bit before returning to make another attempt. I like how they let it slide once. They're like, get the fuck out of here, man. He's like, okay. But I got some fishies. They shouted at him, so he attempted to mimic their words back. He even sang worship songs to them, but they just laughed at him.
That's insulting, because what if they're like, get out of here?
You get out of here. They're like, never had reverse psychology before? I like how he's just like, God's building a church. He's gonna march like a mighty army man.
Do you think he was TikTok dancing too?
Yeah, like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wife's chick with her baby dying. She's like, gets into it? Maybe. Eventually, John was able to give them gifts, but a child shot him with an arrow as he attempted to preach gospel to them. He's like in their hut, whatever, and he's like, all right, so listen up, guys. You got the gifts. Let's talk about Jesus for a second, huh? He gives him one of these, and then a child's just like, he's like, ah! Fuck! Actually, what? He said, crackers! Cheese and crackers, guys, come on! Luckily, the arrow was blocked by his waterproof Bible, which he was holding up to his chest.
God saved him.
Oh, sir! His kayak was stolen from him. Oh, damn. Not the kayak! His kayak was stolen from him, so he was forced to swim back a full mile back to his fishing boat. As he pondered his next approach overnight, he journaled about his fear of death, claiming it would all be worth it to, quote, declare Jesus to these people. They gave him 2 attempts to just get the fuck out of here.
I know. Yeah, you're pressing your luck pretty bad.
At the same time, too, though, he's just like, listen, if you're going by the gambler's code, what is it? You're one gamble away from winning it all back, from taking home the house, huh?
It's like the guy digging through the mines to the
Classic
to the
meme.
diamonds.
He probably thought to himself, too, there's a reason why they haven't strip scalped my ass, dude. He's like, I'm supposed to get in there and do it.
They're playing hard to get.
They're playing hard to get. The next day, he swam back to shore and approached the village on foot. This was the last time anyone ever saw Chow alive. His journal entry stopped from here. The fishermen watched from the boat as the tribesmen dragged John's lifeless body across the beach before burying him in sand. How did the people in Kansas City not prepare him for this? Your defense tactics are amazing, but at the same time, man, be persistent. Go with Christ, brother. How is there not a protocol? If it gets hairy and you're able to get out, just get out. Okay. You're God's favorite warrior, John. Really? I also run a Toyota dealership. You really are a messenger of God, aren't you, John?
Picture this. You're home alone when suddenly the worst happens. You have no one to run to, no one to yell to. You're all alone. This could have been easily avoided with the Meat Canyon Patreon, where you get behind-the-scenes perks, monthly stickers, and support one of YouTube's most beloved channels.
Should have signed up to the Patreon.
Please, for your own safety, consider signing up to the Meat Canyon Patreon.
These stories can often lead to brutal deaths, all right? A lot of them are. We're going to be talking about a lot of brutal deaths, sometimes I'll tell you. But not just by the Sentinelese people, but by many other indigenous tribes. So let's talk about Michael C. Rockefeller and the Asmat tribe of
of New Guinea.
Damn, that guy's, look at that smile. He's happy.
I think that he knows. He's like, you have no idea how hard you're about to get 23-year-old Michael C. Rockefeller, son of New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller and future vice president, would actively visit indigenous tribes for the purpose of collecting artifacts. He'd bring them home to the Museum of Primitive Art, which was also founded by, guess what? Daddy, my dad. Nelson. While sailing with his partner, waves crashed into their boat, causing it to overturn. His partner insisted they both stay put, as the waves would eventually subside so they could turn the boat back over. Rockefeller believed he could swim to shore for help, despite his partner pleading against the idea. Rockefeller tied floats to himself and swam 3 miles ashore, but was never seen again. His death was declared death by drowning in 1964, but further research and investigation had shown otherwise. A rumor floated around that he made it to shore and was eaten by the Asmat tribe. But the Dutch who controlled this area admittedly refused this idea. They're like, no, come on, guys. I never saw that before.
The Asmat like Diet Coke.
We did not have coconut and Diet Coke, so they do not care. They can't even see you. It was later discovered that the Dutch government and local church authorities were fully aware of how Michael died, but were staying silent of the details. I don't know. I could not tell you what happened. Okay, is that Dutch, right? Isn't that Dutch or is that Swedish? That's Swedish. Hey, we're just gonna go Swedish. I could not tell you what happened.
That's like Italian now. Yeah, Mario.
Yeah, that's Mario. All right, fine. He's Italian. I could not tell you what happened. Michael did not drown. He was tortured, beheaded, and eaten in ritualistic cannibal killing by the Asmats, a violent New Guinea tribe. Not peaceful. Some would say violent.
You're just smearing them. Come on.
Well, you know, I hate to be that guy, but cannibalistic eatings, beating them, torturing them, all that stuff. I'm gonna say that they have a violent tendency. To be fair, he stepped on the turf. Gonna get burned, dude. He almost approached safety when a flotilla of 40 canoes with 50+ men had gathered nearby.
That's terrifying. You're just swimming for your life.
Well, you're like swimming up, whatever. You like get him on shore, and you're like. They spotted him, and an Asmat tribesman drove a spear into his side. He's like, hey, how's it going? He's like trying to pull the Diet Coke out of his jeans. He was cut from his anus to his neck, down the side of his trunk to the armpit, across the collarbone to the throat, and down the other side in the ancestral ritual to butcher a man. Cut from his asshole up to his neck, wrap around. From here, an axe was used to break his ribs. All of his legs were cut off, and his sternum was ripped out before they removed his entrails. He was still alive. Okay, can you imagine? He was scalped, and his head was cooked and cut across the face from a nose to the nape of his neck. A hole was made in the skull, where they dumped his brains out into a palm leaf. I made a nice bread out of it. Nice gravy, I don't know. It was mixed with sago, wrapped up and left to roast for a special meal. And far before Michael's trip, a Dutchman overseeing the colony ordered the execution of 5 high-ranking tribesmen, and they believe Rockefeller's killing was a retaliation for that execution. Way to go, Dutch. Killed those 5.
Oh, that's why they're keeping quiet. Yeah, we don't know.
I couldn't tell you why. But, you know, we're even. Yeah, they said we're even. I don't know what they're talking about.
So did the Asmat like tell them this is what they did? How do they know all these details?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. They go, they're like, what happened? The guy's like, dude, listen, it's a total fucking misunderstanding, okay? We thought he was Dutch. I don't know. He killed 5 of our bros. We're pissed and hungry. We fucking hate him. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. I'm like, what? The Dutch did? And the Dutch are like, sorry about that. I guess we kind of fudged up the details there a little bit. Probably should have just told you what was going on. That's okay, Dutch. Thank you for finally being honest. No member of the Rockefeller family has publicly accepted the version of the truth, and they repeat, to this day, that he drowned to death. There were private investigations after the official ruling of drowning that seemed to indicate that the theory he was killed was actually correct. Like other Rockefellers, all rich assholes are just like, no way. He was a poor swimmer. That's how he died. Like, did he get eaten? No. Why not just admit, yeah, I got eaten?
Is that like a shame to their family?
Yeah, no Rockefeller gets eaten. We've never been eaten. We've drowned. We're a good drowning family. Poseidon, the god of the ocean, wanted to claim him, and he's immortal in the ocean. He's the governor of Atlantis. He's the mayor of Atlantis. Good on you. Good job, Rockefeller. Will Rockefeller a proud people? These are claims that Rockefeller's mother hired a private investigator who went to the tribe and swapped a boat engine for 3 human skulls. While there, the tribe supposedly stated that they were the only white men they ever killed. It was claimed that he had brought the skulls back to the family, where his mother paid the investigator $250,000 as a reward for proof of his death. Yeah, they're just like, I don't know, take this one. He's like, thank you. Also, that back then, that money, pretty penny, but proud. Who are the Rockefellers? In a 2014 book about Rockefeller's death, the author Carl Hoffen tells stories of how he visited the tribes, and during one visit, witnessed a man acting out someone's death and stopped to record the act. The acting was eerily similar to the stories of Rockefeller's death. The language later translated to reveal that the man was urging him to never speak of this incident, saying if he did, Carl and his people would all die. Like, f you, bitch. F you, dude. Come on. The hell is this?
Are these the Asmats saying?
The Asmat are saying that. Don't ever speak of this or you'll all die. I'll be like, how about you suck the fattest part of my cock, dude? How's that sound? The Asmat people were known as a semi-nomadic tribe that were versed in every taboo known to the Western world. Men would openly have sex with each other, their wives would be shared, and they would drink each other's urine during bonding rituals. They hunted human heads, killed their own neighbors, and ate human flesh. And apparently, they would even suck the chief's cock. I like how that's like the end point. By the way, they sucked the chief's cock. I'd love to be the chief of that village. Come on in. The chair fell down. Speaking of cannibalism, there's plenty more where that came from. We could talk about the handicapped student eaten by the Kalina tribe.
Kahlua.
Is it Kahlua?
No.
Kalina. The Kalina tribe. In February of 2009, God, these are like kind of recent. The hell's up with all these people? Like, goddamn, leave them alone. Like in the 30s, I get it being like, what adventurers, you see, right? The Nazis haven't even come around yet. We're going to save these goddamn barbarians. But now it's just like, I just fucking leave them, dude. We have the Xbox. We have Dead Rising. Why do we need to have the Uncontacted? We can run around a mall in a video game and kill zombies.
Gotta show my Facebook homies that I saved this tribe.
Did you guys see on Facebook that I saved that tribe? Did you like the post? Were we friends on Facebook or no? In February of 2009, 3 indigenous Brazilians were investigated under suspicion of having murdered and eaten a 21-year-old handicapped man. The Kalina tribe, an indigenous R1-speaking tribe, was assumed to be behind the slaughter of the young disabled man. It is believed that they carved him up with over 100 cuts in order to eat his insides. You know you can just cut him open. 100 fucking cuts, more effort. Whatever. You do what you gotta do. 3 people were investigated by the police, and it was shown that they bragged to the relatives in the reservation about how they ate an innocent man's heart and liver. This was strange, as the Kalina tribe do not practice any form of cannibalism, leading police to the conclusion that they were either drunk or on drugs. Is there tribe drugs?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the little... They blow the powder in their face.
What's that drug?
Peyote?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca?
Yeah.
I didn't think that you'd get the munchies on ayahuasca. Ayahuasca so much that you're eating raw heart and liver. To each is their own. No arrests were made, partly due to Brazilian law not allowing military or civil police to enter their land. Why they even investigate them then? I guess just to be like, did you do it? Yeah. All right. Even people who claim to be experts in uncontacted tribes truly can't predict what will happen when they arrive. This was surely the case with Riley Franciscado, the Amazon expert. Riley Franciscado was killed in 2020 while attempting to contact an isolated group in the Serangueras, Brazil.
Having a stroke.
I'm just gonna say Dayton, Ohio. Local ranchers and loggers had targeted the area's wood burning and chopping down protected land for its resources. And in the process, an isolated group had been sighted, urging the Brazilian Indigenous Affairs Agency to investigate. The 56-year-old team coordinator was killed by an arrow in the chest at the border of the Uru-Uru-I-Wa-U tribe's territory. Is that how it's said or what?
That's pretty close.
Whatever, dude. I'm just gonna you put it up on the screen. I'm almost positive. Uru-Uru-Wa-U tribes, Dayton, Ohio territory. Reporters say he pulled the arrow out and ran 50 meters before falling. Riley may not have been a missionary, but his intentions were to save the people by preserving their territory and empowering them with resources despite what was being taken from them. I like how he's just like, I was just trying to fucking help, dude. Poor Riley. And in many of these cases, the people that set out on these voyages simply disappear, with very little details on how they met their fate. One of the earliest examples of a high-profile case of someone dying at the hands of an uncontacted tribe was the story of Percy Fawcett. Did I get that name right?
You got it right. Yep.
Okay. My boy Percy Fawcett was a South American explorer, geographer, cartographer, and archaeologist. He's Indiana Jones. Is he not? It's Indiana Jones.
That is Indiana Jones.
His explorations gained him immense fame, and he was even awarded a prestigious medal from the Royal Geographical Society. That doesn't sound too cool. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, it's not the Game Awards. It's not an Oscar. Those are the real awards that matter. His many expeditions had slowly put the theory into his head that there is such thing as a lost city in the Amazon rainforest, something akin to the fabled city of El Dorado, which is their gold. It's all gold. There's a cartoon of it too. A chick with chicken in a movie.
Chell. Yeah. You know they f***ed off camera.
Eiffel towering with the guys. He set on a trip to find the supposed lost city, which he referred to as the City of Z. It's kind of sick. This would not be his first expedition into the area, as previous trips were plagued with exhaustion, sickness, and terrible weather. His son Jack and his friend Riley, two men that shared Percy's obsession with the city of Z, would accompany him on his most recent endeavor. Percy kept moving at all costs, to the point that his son and his friend had to camp alone for a night because Percy was moving at such a breakneck pace. God, why don't you fucking calm down, Percy? I'm gonna get there before you guys. Together they trekked through the dense forest, going through unmapped areas populated by hostile native tribes. Percy kept moving at all costs, though, to the point that his son and his friend had to camp alone for a night. Dad, I can't! My foot's stuck! All three of the men disappeared, never returning home. Who would have thought? 2 years later, in 1927, many volunteers began the search for them, despite Percy's insistence that rescuers should not risk their lives in the event of his death. The mission was a failure. It was never clear what actually led to their deaths. Some claimed it was due to harsh forest conditions and diseases. Others claimed vicious animal attacks. Some even suggested that Percy started a commune in the jungle, simply pretending he was dead to live his new life in the rainforest. I wonder if that was all inspired Apocalypse Now. Maybe, because that's about a general who he just faked his death and went off and...
I thought you meant Apocalypto.
Or it's like Apocalypto. Like that scene where he's like dick itches or something. And they give his like a leaf that you put on your cock. They're messing with him. Remember that? He's getting ready to f wife and he's like, yeah, I can't get hard. I can't impregnate my wife. And they're like, yeah, rub this leaf on it. And he's like, okay. And he's like, ah. He runs out of his hut. He's like, ah. And they're all laughing at him. But they all die, so he wins in the end. Spoiler from the movie from 2004 or whenever that came out. Sorry. In 2005, a journalist named David Grand retraced Percy's steps on his own expedition. He met with members of the Kalapalo, and they claimed Percy traveled in the domain of a warlike tribe that likely ambushed and murdered him. Now listen, guys. Here's what I gotta say. One, if it's an uncontacted tribe, don't contact them. What do all these people have in common? Sticking their noses in other people's business that shouldn't be there. I think uncontacted tribes also goes to your neighbor.
What?
Or the guy down the road.
Oh,
Stay out of people's business, dude. Don't be snooping around, let alone uncontacted tribes where they can kill you or put leaves on your cock that make your cock itchy. And then Mel Gibson makes a movie about it, and everyone laughs at you. You know, and here's the thing: if you're really bored, maybe don't pick a hobby that's like, hey, let's go talk to someone who doesn't want to talk to us. That's a fucking lame hobby. Where the only award is you getting a fucking medal from the Geographical Society or whatever the fuck it was. Lame, bored. And also, if you're religious, be fucking religious by yourself, dude. Marry a religious woman. Talk to people who want to talk about it. Don't go to some people who are like, I've never seen a flashlight. I don't know the concept of a battery.
But it's fun. You get to teach them all sorts of things.
But it's fun. You get to give them coconuts and Diet Coke. You get to give them Diet Coke. If you're going to go out there, at least give them a 12-packer. Showing up, dropping a coconut on a beach and a Diet Coke. What are we thinking? I don't know. Don't contact anybody that doesn't want to get contacted by you. Appreciate you so much, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and joining us this week. We hope to see you next time.
Did you know they made a City of Z movie?
Really?
That's how I learned of Percy Fawcett, yeah. I liked it. Pretty good. Check
Is
it out.
Better than El Dorado?
No. You can't beat El Dorado.
I love El Dorado. Also, remember the girl in that? All right, we're done. Bye.
You gotta do it. Somebody's gotta do it.
Jimmy, you gotta do it, bro. I can't do this.
Alright, what do I do? You gotta club him.
Where, in the head?
Yeah.
Jimmy, this clear.
This
clears your dad's back.
What do I do, like this? Yeah.
I can't watch. Wait, am I? This is cool? I do? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Come on, let's
Jimmy,
let's
step
talk.
up, bro.
More action.
I got this. 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 I got this.
Go.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.